stuck on processing. I've had my videos interfered with before when I'm discussing matters that would be considered an exposing of corruption within the state. But I'm just going to quickly, perhaps more concisely, so it might be even more beneficial to do this video again. But a number of things I want to point out, so I just want to summarize sort of the schedule of this video. So I want to expose the treasonous activities that have occurred in our state. 1, misuse of media. 2, the bringing of a referendum that betrays the state. And 3, the pretense that permission is needed from nuns in order to build, a maternity hospital. So this is in the form of a denial of personal rights, one of which is Section 6 of Article 40, in terms of how the media is managed. The act of treason was committed when a referendum was brought that purported to remove effectively and lawfully the right to life of human beings. That referendum is the pro-abortion referendum. This is just the use of language. Abortion to put in the place of the word murder or kill. They want to give the impression to the public that it is not unlawful to kill the baby in the womb, when actually it is murder before God and government. There's a serious departure from what is considered moral and lawful when the government and those who have infiltrated its offices and organs begin to promote, present that human beings can be killed at the stage of development in the womb. This is grave misuse of media to miseducate and misinform public opinion by failing to represent what has been scientifically proven to be the definition of life. The definition of life in the Bible and the definition of life scientifically agree. Leviticus 17:11 says, "The life of the creature is the blood therein." Secular science recognizes that blood is the transportation vehicle of oxygen to the human cell. Therefore, human life is dependent upon whether that human being has blood or not. It's not a condition of what stage of development that human being is at. It's ridiculous to say, basically illogical, to say that because somebody is still developing, that they don't have life or the right to it any longer, or that it should be removed in some way, and that this could actually be lawfully arrived at. That's an impossibility. The right to life is one that is imprescriptible, which means, very simply, scribe, a writer. A script is something written. Imprescriptible means cannot be removed from writing, cannot be written out of. And what do you do in a referendum? You make a mark, you write. So a referendum can never affect the removal of an imprescriptible right. And the right to life is one such right. What greater right than that of the right to breathe oxygen? The right to have the integrity of your vascular system, the right to have the integrity of your body. What greater human preservation should there be in law? There is none. So the right to life, if any, is an imprescriptible one, which means it cannot be written out of law. So the one who would purport that it can, or that it is not in place, in opposition to the definition of what life is, according to both the scriptures, which the Irish Constitution submits to, and secular science, which society on the whole submits to. Secular science arrives at a definition, on the basis of what's known as the scientific method. Something is tested more than once in the same way, and it is found to be the same result. Then it is established that this is the case. Well, basic biology will tell you that the human being who has blood coursing the vascular system is a living human being. The Bible says the life of the creature is the blood therein. Does the baby in the womb have blood? Yes. Then they have life. Yes. If we go to the amendments in the Irish Constitution, and we see that prior to this amendment, it would be murder to kill the baby in the womb prior to this. So 1983, it says here, 8th Amendment of the Constitution Act 1983, acknowledged the right to life of the unborn with due regard to the equal right to life of the mother. So here they are acknowledging the right to life of the unborn. They have defined that the unborn has life. Therefore, they have defined life. Then, if they have defined life, it is given to life that it is imprescriptible, antecedent, inalienable, and inviolable. So they cannot, on the one hand, say that life is the baby's, and then on the other hand, say it can be removed by referendum. It's simply a disconnect. It's simply not a proper representation of law, or the definition of life, or the definition of an imprescriptible right, such as the right to life. So what they have done is, when they brought a referendum that purports to remove that right, they committed high treason. They have incited murder on a mass scale. When they used the media in line with this to wrongly inform the public opinion, they committed high treason and a betrayal of the Constitution of our state under Article 40. Now, you would say, well, people make mistakes. Maybe. No. This is fundamental to biological definitions and basic lawful rights, such that it cannot be considered that this was merely a mistake. This is a calculated effort to destroy human life. It cannot be considered anything other than that. A calculated effort to destroy human life. First treason, bringing the referendum. Second treason, the misuse of media and the failure of the government to bring that under control. Third treason, the campaigns promoting the destruction of life, facilitated and given platform by the state. These can never be considered acceptable before the laws of Ireland. These definitions between secular science and biblical Christianity line up. They don't disagree. Leviticus 17:11 says, the life of the creature is the blood therein. Secular science says, blood is the transportation system of oxygen to the cell, giving it life. These definitions agree. Therefore, the baby in the womb has life, as was acknowledged in 1983. If it was acknowledged in 1983 as having life, no referendum can ever remove that imprescriptible right by way of its imprescriptibility. once it's recognized as murder to kill the baby in the womb, that the baby has life before the law, it can never then be removed by way of the right to life being one that is imprescriptible. Blessings.